All right, it's official. Aquaman has hit the 1 billion mark. Pretty big day for DCEU fans, right? The first DCEU movie to make a billion. First DC movie since The Dark Knight Rises to hit a billion. And yeah, the universe is definitely not dead. Still got a lot more movies coming. But Aquaman has made 287 million domestic, which is all right. It's going to hit the 300 million mark in its lifetime in theaters for sure. But what's more interesting is its foreign numbers, which has made 732 million, which is 71% of its total box office revenue, and its total worldwide is 1 billion, 20 million and change, you know. But what's interesting is that over 70% of its box office is coming from overseas. So, everybody around the world is loving this film. And, it looks like America's a little bit behind because Wonder Woman domestic total for America was in the 400 million range. And it doesn't look like Aquaman's going to get to that Wonder Woman 400 million, but it's definitely going to hit the 300 million mark, which is a big achievement for the domestic box office. So, it's accomplished a lot of amazing things. James Wan has made another $1 billion movie, and he's definitely going to be getting a lot more offers to make films. Warner Brothers is definitely talking to him about making an Aquaman sequel for sure. Like, we don't even need to hear a rumor about that. We know that just from these numbers, Warner Brothers is probably dying to have James Wan come back and make another Aquaman film. But another thing I wanted to point out was Aquaman's weekend-to-weekend drop. And if you look at these weekends, it's been holding pretty steady. Obviously, the first drop was not that much at all, at only 23%. But the second and third drop were hovering at the 40% mark, so that's really good. I mean, if we remember back to Batman vs. Superman, the second weekend drop for that movie was like 60% or something, which is not good at all. So Aquaman is definitely killing it right now. It's going to have legs. It's going to stay in theaters for a while. And it's well-deserving of this. It's a decent film. It's an enjoyable film. It's very true to the Aquaman character. James Wan and the whole cast and crew have been working on this film for 2 to 3 years, and it's all paying off. They're making bank, But, I saw this one video of this guy, and he somehow spun this to make Batman vs. Superman look bad, and he kept saying over and over, if Aquaman can make $1 billion and Batman vs. Superman can't make $1 billion, then that's a big problem. And all I'm thinking is just like, why the fuck are we even bringing up Batman vs. Superman, Almost 3 years ago now, the movie came out. But yet, when we're talking about Aquaman's box office, everyone wants to talk about Batman vs. Superman, right? And I think what people forget about Batman vs. Superman is that it was a very niche film. It wasn't a film for everybody. It was a very dark superhero film, had a lot of political messages, had a lot of symbolism in it. It definitely wasn't a film for everybody. Aquaman, on the other hand, has a huge, broad, mass appeal. It's easy to translate to other languages. It's a visual spectacle. It has a lot of things going for it. And you could say with Batman vs. Superman, the reason it had such a big drop its second weekend was because it was the film people weren't expecting to see, People wanted to see Batman and Superman fighting for 45 minutes on screen. That's what they wanted, going into that film. And they didn't get that, and, they didn't go back to watch it again. That's why it didn't make $1 billion. But it's still damn near made 900 million. It wasn't that far from $1 billion. And Wonder Woman wasn't that far from $1 billion. And the reason Wonder Woman didn't make $1 billion was because its foreign numbers weren't very strong. Its foreign numbers were the same as its domestic numbers, so, you need those foreign numbers to get to the $1 billion mark, And Aquaman's the first DCEU movie to get these kind of numbers overseas. I mean, these are huge numbers. 700 million overseas? Like, that's almost $1 billion on its own. It didn't even need to open in America, they made plenty of money on this film. They made so much money on Aquaman that they can make like 5 more DC films right now, like this year, and not have a problem, And I'm sure Warner Brothers is loving this because I think it's been a while since their last $1 billion movie. I want to say Dark Knight Rises and Harry Potter were like the last films that made like $1 billion, and maybe The Hobbit. Those were like the last Warner Brothers films that made billions of dollars. So, Warner Brothers executives are seeing this, and they're just fucking over the moon probably. and they are probably greenlighting all kinds of DC films right now. And, you know, obviously I'm a Green Lantern fan, so I'm hoping that this turns into some kind of movement on the Green Lantern film and a bunch of other films that I'm looking forward to. You know, the Batman film, the Flash film. Hopefully, with these kind of numbers with Aquaman, we will get movement on those films now. And, you know, it's not a hard formula to figure out. You know, you just make a good, entertaining film and have it do something unique. And in Aquaman's case, what made it unique was the visual spectacle of it. I think that's what really drew people to the theater. And you know, you got a bunch of other DC characters you could do that with. You know, the Flash, I mean, that could be a visual spectacle. Green Lantern, that could be something amazing. You know, a movie set in space with all these, you know, bright, vibrant colors from the color spectrum. Warner Brothers has a lot to choose from. You know, they got a lot of opportunities to make great films. But it's a great day for DC fans. Great day for the DCEU. Made $1 billion. It took a while, but they finally have a film that made $1 billion. And it wasn't a team-up film at all. It was just Aquaman. So imagine what their other iconic characters could do. And, you know, other than James Wan, you have to thank Zack Snyder, because he's the one that casted Jason Momoa. He's the one that, you know, put forth this direction for Aquaman, probably. He's the one that started this universe, you know, laid the groundwork for someone like James Wan to come and pick up Aquaman and make a great movie out of it, you know. And I will be talking more about that shirt he released soon. There's just so much detail on that. There's so many messages hidden in that shirt. And yeah, I won't talk about that. But yeah, it's clear Zack Snyder is still involved in this universe. He's in the credits of Aquaman. He's going to be involved in several upcoming DC films. And the Snyder Cut keeps getting more attention now. And since Warner Brothers made so much money on Aquaman, finishing the Snyder Cut and putting it out wouldn't be anything, you know, to them. It would be chump change, and they could do it this year easily. But yeah, that's it for now. I don't know how I started talking about the Snyder Cut, but yeah, Aquaman hits $1 billion. Glorious day. Exceeded everybody's expectations. And now we have Shazam coming out in just a couple months here. Now, I don't know if Shazam is going to be able to do what Aquaman did, but, I mean, if it can get close, if it can get in the 700 million range, I mean, that's a huge win again, you know. And there's some rumors that, you know, Black Adam might be in Shazam. There's some rumors Superman might be in Shazam. I would hope we get some kind of cameo or teaser for either of those characters, you know. That would kind of make Shazam an exciting movie to see. But anyway, yeah, that's it for now. Comment below. Let me know what you think of Aquaman's success, what this means for the DCEU. It's only good news. It only means we're going to get more DC films, and the chances of the Snyder Cut happening have just increased. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?